Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. Um, I just want to make a video because someone wanted me to talk about this meat stuff. So I'm going to do it right now. What was my experience when I stopped eating this meat? And other stuff. I'll say this right now. I stopped eating meat like around what 20 about like 2017, and then in 2025 I started like eating it just a bit, basically just to what was it test. It's just really a test. I was testing it, basically. I know a lot of brothers and sisters might be upset about what I'm saying over here and shit like that, but I just wanted to do it as a test because most likely, once I got that message of like, hey, how do you feel about the meat and all that stuff, I realized that the test that I was doing eventually was going to lead up to this, and obviously I stopped, but I just wanted to let you guys know because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm not. By the way, I'm sipping my beer, but some people might complain about that too. You know what? At that point, look, it's like what RANT said. I'm like, if you're not smoking some herb or anything like, what are you doing? Oh, what you think you're better than anyone? I would love to show you that video, but my phone is really messed up. I need to get a new phone. So trust me, I want to show so much stuff because there was a brother that was talking about meat and meat. Also, he was talking about meat. I thought it was the alcohol stuff. No, it was just the meat stuff. So I was like, okay, that that was really good to show. But maybe I'll show it in the future when my phone is good and not a piece of crap. But I'm gonna have to at least I have to like at least what is it? Be honest with you guys. I don't want to lie, you know. And by the way, like wearing this copper bracelet, and look how my hand is. Look at look at that. Look at that. For anyone is like, oh, for anyone that probably looks at my name on Instagram and they're like, oh, you're this, you're that, and I'm only here like, what? I'm not calling no one out. I'm just saying that if you look at my name and automatically you judge me by my name, I'm only here like there's people over here that are called that are called like for example Jackie, for example, or Gummy, or Taylor, you know, or Tyler, and they look and they're a brother and a sister. But automatically, once you look at the name, you'd be like, oh no, that's what you are, and that's where you're gonna be. And I'm over here like, what? What? What is this? What is this mindset? What is this mindset? Oh, how does the sun react to you? Fine. I just like, but anyway, you something skin on, you know what? I'm not a BoneNaga Chimera. So what do you think I'm gonna I'm gonna laugh like Luffy when he turns into Gil 5. That's what I'm doing, man. I'm just laughing. And then when the time comes, I'm gonna be laughing at every wicked being and destroy them. I'm already doing that in the Astored. So imagine. These see what I look like. You see me dugging down into the land itself like Bugs Bunny, and then coming up like a freaking sandworm like you see in freaking Beetlejuice. No, I'm dead serious. They've seen that shit and they're terrified of it. Seriously, I could do so like I have Toon Force powers, guys. And I know because I know who I am. I know thyself. All right. And Yonkas do have Toon Force powers. They do. They do. Yes, Yonkas have Toon Force powers. That's why when you see SpongeBob or the Joker, because even the Joker might not have Toon Force powers. Joker has something else. The intelligence. He has the intelligence. You see that? Why do you think in the Dark Knight Joker was ahead of everybody else? Oh, the Joker planned to be caught. The Joker planned to do this and all that. And a lot of people complain about that. But I'm like, no, that's the Hayonka. The Hayonka planned certain things to happen to them so they can either go higher or just to prove to the system that they were nothing. Because I could escape at any time. That's what the Joker did. The Joker got caught on purpose just because he knew he can get out anytime. He didn't care. He did not care. That's when he grabbed one of the officers, the detective. He's just like, I just want my phone call. And everyone's just like, what the fuck? Because he always had a plan. He was always up wanting them. And people don't like that for some reason. Like that interpretation of the Joker. But I always liked it or always resonated with me. Mainly because it's like that's how the Hanyonkos are. They're one step ahead of these wicked beings. They've always been. They've always have been. Alright? Seriously. And it's funny too that when you look at Batman versus Superman, I get to the meat stuff too, soon. I just want to mention this. It's funny when they do Batman versus Superman. Superman is us, obviously, and then Batman is these wicked beings. Have you noticed that? When I even saw that, when some brother pointed it out, I was just like, you know what, that is true. Holy shit, you know. So let's go back to the whole meat stuff. When I stopped eating meat, oh my goodness gracious. You know how many energies came to me at that point? To be quite honest with you, there was the one point when I took shrooms, and so many downloads just came rushing, and I had to be like, stop. That way, because it was just overflowing to the point. I'm like, okay, this, okay, that, okay, this, and I'm like, guys, I'm trying to process this information, and you're showing me constantly to the point that I'm like, I'm not processing it. That's why I was like, stop. And then eventually it was like slowly processing it. I was trying to tell my friend that, but he was like, "Oh, you're overreacting because of the whole thing and all that, because of the shrooms." But I'm like, "No, bro, no." Because every time when I'm on shrooms, because I do it sometimes annually, as a like a tradition, as to looking at my ancestors and paying homage to them, and not even just that, just like respecting the shroom in general, you know, of like getting you into a higher state of mind and thinking. So, hey, everyone's different. I know a lot of people might complain of what I'm saying, but it's just what it is with me. All right, you complain about it, that's fine. I already showed you how I am. You know, people have seen me in an Astored kicking some ass, and people see me what I look like in an Astored and they can't believe it. You know, I mean, if you couldn't believe it, imagine how these wicked beings felt. You know, but again, going back to this meat stuff. So when I stopped eating the meat, so many stuff started happening to me, downloading wise, um, and energetic wise. Like you could see patterns and stuff like that. Like for kind of every day I see like butterflies and shit like that. You know, like and I see cats. You know, I see cats every day. You know, when I'm walking around, I see like street cats and stuff like that, and I knew that's part of it. Yo, the crows. I've been seeing crows like crazy. All right, and it's funny too because my last name is called Velasquez. Right? When you translate that, it literally symbolizes a crow. That's why I wanted to do a separate video about what my name means in ancient Egyptian, ancient Greece. I mean, yeah. I mean, not ancient Greece. Sorry, ancient Kemet. Sorry, I don't want you to get you guys confused there. Sorry. See, I had to recalculate what I'm saying here. Sorry about that. And yeah, man. Like again, even if you are eating this meat, you can still cleanse yourself from the sun and all the stuff that you can still cleanse yourself with. You know, that's what I was doing to cleanse myself. You know, and it's working. You know, obviously I stopped now because again, like I told you, I was testing it, and I know a lot of people might argue what I'm doing or argue what I'm saying and all that. But to be quite honest, guys, I became more knowledgeable and more wisdom because of it. Go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong. Go ahead if you tell me that oh you're stupid this and that. But that's what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you my experience, man. That's what I'm telling you, my experience. That's really it. All right. Seriously, I get confirmation from the cosmos every freaking day. Every time I wake up to a certain time, or I look at the time, sometimes it goes to 3:30 or 3:33 or 3:03. Every day, every day. And if I don't see it that day, that's fine. I will see it the next day. or the next day after that. Because eventually I'm going to see it no matter what. It doesn't become like a week or a month for me to not see that number. I see it every day. I can't escape that number, basically. Same thing with 11/11. You know, so it's something to pay attention to, right? Especially when you're eating this meat and you're paying attention to what's doing it to what's happening to you, and then you stop, and then you realize, and I mean, then you realize even more what is happening to you. You could have figured that out. Look, you saw that flash right there? Was that just me? Okay, maybe it was just me because there was like a huge line that went like around my head. I just saw that. Did you saw that? I don't know. Okay, if you didn't saw it, that's fine. But maybe it did caught up on camera. But if it didn't, then that's fine because I just saw that right now and I'm like, whoa, 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 you know. So I'm feeling hot right now. I mean, that's the thing. Every room that I've had, every room that I've had, it's always been hot. My sister told me, yeah, that's kind of scary. I literally make fun of, yeah, maybe Freddy Krueger is in my room. If you watch your Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and the orc is in Nancy's room, and he's like all hot and shit like that, like sweating like a motherfucker. Like I'm over here like God damn, I know my room's hot, but you're dying, you know. But Nightmare on Elm Street 2, by the way, if you want to see that movie, even though that movie has a lot of gay shit. It does. I'll say that right now. The movie has a lot of gay shit. Literally, it's like that's not gay. That's not gay. That's gay. I don't want to get into detail, but if you saw the movie, you'd be like, "That's not gay. That's not gay." Someone would be like, "No, that's gay. That's gay." And all of a sudden, he pops something out of his fucking junk, and it's like, "Nah, that's gay." I'm, I'm gonna tell my brother-in-law that. Like, I'm like, no, that's not gay. That's not gay. He's like, that's gay, man. That's gay. And then all of a sudden, no, wait for it. That's gay. He's like, the shit they react to for some of your people when you like be like, no, that's it, and they're like, oh man, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I do. I love it. I love it. I love it. Just the funny factor of like showing your people and they look at it like, he's right. Or she's right, you know. But from my experience of eating this stuff, is that once you cleanse yourself out of it, um, obviously there's gonna be things that when you cleanse yourself, things are gonna happen because you've been eating all this junk, you know. So obviously that is cleansing you because the sun. Most people are like, oh, the sun is hurting me. No, it's cleansing out of your freaking mess that you fucking ate. You're eating junk. So what the fuck is the sun gonna do to you? Take away that junk. I'm telling you from my experience. You can judge me all you want for no reason. I showed you in the beginning of the video of who I am. And I don't have to. That's the thing. I know there's some brothers and sisters out here being like, hey, if you need to prove to yourself of who you are, then you're not this. And I'm only here like, no. I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, there's stupid motherfuckers out here that will look at you just because, you know, the way you look. Aren't we supposed to leave off the whole skin shit and look at your soul and spirit and shit like that? I thought we were beyond that, but no, everyone still wants to look at the fucking goddamn skin. I thought we were beyond that shit, but apparently not. Apparently not. And look, the skin has to do with a lot of the shit, of course. Do I synthesize the sun? Yes, I do. You can't say that I don't. You don't live in my life. Seriously. Just like I barely tell you stuff, I barely tell my family stuff. I keep my shit to myself. And then when I do make videos about it, people might debate me on it. Oh, you don't look exactly like me. And I'm like, what? What? But yet when there's a feline, oh, what's up, brother? What's up, sister? Like, got nothing against the felines. The felines are great. The lions. I mean, the lions are great. Nothing but respect to those beings. I'm sure there's probably wicked lions, which I'll be upset about because they're beautiful beings. They're lions. They're tigers. They're beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful species. Beautiful. Beautiful. They are. They're beautiful. What do you think Thundercats is a thing? I loved Thundercats as a kid. Loved watching that shit as a kid. Are you kidding me? If you haven't watched Thundercats, you haven't lived. I say that right now. You haven't lived to see the truth. You know, like He-Man and all that stuff. Not that long ago, I'm watching a movie of Hercules from 1984, I believe. It has the guy that became Incredible Hulk in the 70s and stuff like that. Or a little bit of the 80s, I guess. And then he did this movie. So far I'm enjoying the movie. I haven't watched the whole thing, but so far I'm enjoying it. I not enjoying it as a fun factor, enjoying it as like mentally wise, and I'm like, ooh, look at that. And then when you look at the Zeus, when you look at the Hercules story, the way they depict it in that movie, it's very similar to the Jesus story. You know, and that's not the only story that is similar to Jesus, basically, in the Bible. If anyone wants to be, talk about the Bible, junk. Junk? You said junk? Yeah, I said junk because that belongs to the freaking what we call these wicked beings, the white race. It doesn't belong to us. You know what does belong to us? Meditation, tai chi, doing your sigils, enchanting. That's what belongs to us, and also technology. What's our culture? Shout out to Remake. Our culture is technology. It's always been that way, and it's always going to be that way. Point, point blank, and simple. All right. Not that long ago, um, um, excuse me, not that long ago, Orion TV showed a brother plugging a cord to a tree, and the light bulb just blew up. And then people be like, "Oh, that's pseudoscience, fake science," but yet you see it right there in front of you. You know. And then people stay shut about it because they can't explain it. Of course you can't explain it, man. Because you know what's up. You know what's up. You know what they're hiding from you. And then people are acting here like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me I can make something that can actually float in the air because of the planet itself is so high vibration? Yes. You don't have to plug in wires into anything. You can have wires stick out of that vehicle that you're doing, and guess what? Nature would do the rest, and the ether would do the rest. You know, all you have to do is open yourself, um, mindful wise to see it. All right. And when I did eat this meat stuff, and I stopped, so many things started just like I started seeing so many shit. You know, and I'm not talking about in 2025. I'm talking about back then when I stopped in 2017. And then when I did it in 2025, just a little bit, just to test it, just to see how my body would react to it, how I would see different things and everything like that. I still saw the truth and shit like that, obviously. I still saw the bullshit and everything like that. But there was certain things that I didn't get when I wasn't eating it, you see? And that's something we need to pay attention to. All right? Everything, and I'll say this right now, it's different from each person. Right? It is. It's different from each person. Me, I probably wasn't getting downloads all that much, or I probably wasn't meditating enough to actually be a part of it or something like that. You know, be part more of nature. And then my higher self was just telling me, or my again, my head was just telling me, just cleanse yourself, man. Just cleanse yourself. And it's easy to cleanse yourself. It's not that hard to cleanse yourself. And I get it. There's some brothers and sisters out there, but like, if you need to cleanse yourself every day, there's something wrong with you. I kind of agree, but at the same time disagree at the same time too. Wait, let's go have some. I agree, but also disagree also because it's like you don't know that person's life. You don't know what they've been through. But obviously, there's gonna be brothers and sisters out here that would judge right away and be like, "This is what you are. This is who you are," and I'm not gonna even pay attention to you, and that's it because fuck you. And I'm over here like, good God, good God, that's pretty crazy, isn't it? Not every brother and sister that I've seen online is like that. No, let's just say that right now. But when I hear stuff like that, I'm over here like, I just I have to take a step back and be like, I'm good. Because the only important thing is to know is thyself, genetics, all right? Because genetics is important, all right? Because if you don't know genetics, then how are you going to know who you are? Even if you know the bare minimum of genetics, you would still know who the fuck you are. Even if you didn't know a lot of genetics, if you know the 101 of genetics, you know who the fuck you are, okay? Doesn't You don't even need to buy a book to find that out. You can find all of that shit in Google, all right? It's not that hard. If you're willing to research, if you have a passion to research about who you are and see what the hell is happening in the world and with your people, then you could do all that because that's a passion, man. That's a thrive. That's something that you want to push to the point that hey, maybe brothers and sisters, maybe you would tell brothers and sisters about it. And it's true what Ryan TV said. You tell your brothers and sisters this, they want to ignore it. That's their problem. You told what's up. You told what's going to happen. They didn't listen. That's fine. Remedy H said it best. Let the sleepers sleep and pay attention to you. Focus on you, because you're the one that's actually putting the high frequency, putting the higher knowledge every freaking day. Kind of loud. I was wearing this when I woke up in the morning, right? And I had this crystal right here, right? I had this and this crystal on me, right? And I was just meditating. And the frequency that I felt all over my body was so amazing. All right? Was so amazing, so high vibrational to the point that I was just like, I was looking at everything and I was just like, I had to take a step back from everything. From everything. Even the people that I watch. I had to step back on everything. Get out of that bubble basically. And I looked at everything and I'm like, wow. You know, I was just amazed, you know, because there's so many different universes and so many different realms and so many different knowledge and so many different way of thinking of how brothers and sisters see stuff. It was so fascinating, very, 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 very fascinating. All right, and I'm not saying it's not the first time it's happened to me. It's just that once you have a copper bracelet on you, in this what is it? This crystal, this type of crystal with you, and you just meditate like this. Like shout out to Remedy H because he talks about this too. Or meditating like this. Me, I've told people like you can meditate like this. You know, like have your energy here. Like hold on. You can have it like you could be like this. You could do what Remedy H is doing like this, or I point it out like this. You know, just remember you got to use your imagination. So every time I use my imagination, I literally imagine like cosmic waves coming on my arm. And since I have a crystal, it's coming through my arm, and then a lightning bolt goes up in the air. You know, and I always feel it. I always feel it. That's why I drew a picture of it because I'm always feeling it every time I do that type of stuff. Not to say I don't feel it when I do this, you know, but I feel it. But I feel it when I do this, you know, like Om Sika Sika Momotida Sika Molita Julia Hatilino Mokaisata. And then you feel it. Look, I'm not making this stuff up. I feel the energy that's throwing right through me, and it's like electricity all over me. And it feels great. It feels good, yes. But at the same time, you got to pay attention that, yes, just because it feels good doesn't mean look, some people might look at it and be like, "Oh, it feels so good," and stuff like that, and then they want to keep doing it because it feels good, but they're not realizing that it's pushing so many cosmic knowledge that's inside of them, and it's pushing so many stuff that's happening to this planet. You know, some people might not understand that. That's why they push this meat out here, because they don't want you to be in that state. All right, seriously. I've seen Orion TV eat seafood, and I don't get upset about it because I'm like, you need a balance, I guess. I think even Gravity H pointed out too. Correct me if I'm wrong. That even if you are eating this meat, you have to balance it out with with some salad, some greens, man. You know, put some green inside of you, baby. Not what is it today? What is it? I went to the store, got some grapes and strawberry, and I ate all of that shit. Yes, the grapes didn't have seeds, which is bullshit in my opinion. I've always been an advocate of that. Like, what the fuck is that crap? But when you tell your friends and family about it, it's like, oh, shut the fuck up, basically. And I'm over here like, you know what? You know what? You want to conform, and I'm not going to talk to the conformists. Yep, I said it. No, no, no. Conformists. I already made up my mind about you. Seriously, man. Like, for real. If you're not learning what the fuck is up and what they're doing to you, then you know what? I'm not even going to listen to you. Shout out to Kalai, because I might not agree with Kalai a lot, and that is fine. But I don't hate Kalai. I don't hate Remedy H. I respect the fuck out of that brother. I don't hate Serious Stepper. I respect the fuck out of that brother. And I don't hate Orion TV. There might be some moments that I'm like, scratching my head with Kalai and probably Orion TV. But it's not to the point that I'm just like, oh, fuck these people. I'm not watching their videos anymore. You know? you know? You know? So I just want to point that out. I do. I might be criticized to some of my people sometimes, especially when I see brothers and sisters talk about some stuff. Especially when I see brothers and sisters still talk about this religion shit. Oh, the Most High. If you're not paying attention to the religious stuff and you're still spiritual, then the Most High will struck you down. And I'm over here like, I'm just shaking my head like, no, I'm worried. I'm not calling you out. I'm worried. Not about me, about you. You know? Sorry that I care too much. Sorry I give a fuck about my people. Sorry I give a fuck to the point that I'm like, this is worrisome. I'm actually terrified of this person right now. To the point that I'm probably not going to watch their videos. You know? Because if you're not telling that you need to be with inside yourself and you need to be part of nature and yes, protect your children and women and shit like that. If you're not saying all of this stuff, knowing thyself, doing Tai Chi, doing your sigils, doing your chants, if you're not saying all of this stuff, I'm going to look at you and be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, but there's more to that. What do you, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, but these wicked beings don't want us to go with inside ourselves. So what's more than just that? Oh, being kind to others and all that. Yeah, I already know that. What else is new? You're telling me like I'm a fucking 5-year-old or some shit. you know? We know this shit. But if we're going to give love to the people that downgraded us to the point that the way that we are, then we haven't learned. We haven't learned. Oh, yes, we have. Have we? These are the same motherfuckers that want to slaughter you and hang you up dry and still and grab your corpse and put them to their family for them to eat. And you telling me to be friends with them or be kind to them? Are you kidding me? Is that? I don't know. That's all I have to say. Some people's gonna be like, "That's some type of psyop. That's some type of bullshit right there." Me, I'm over here like, I don't know what to say to you because I'm over here like, the fuck is wrong with you, man? I get it. I get being nice, but there's a point when you become too nice and these motherfuckers take advantage of it. All right? It's the same thing when they, again, going back, when they're pushing this meat stuff. When they're pushing this meat stuff, you don't know what the fuck you're eating. But yet people will be like, no, I don't want him eating. I don't want him eating. I don't want him eating. I could say more, but I'm just gonna let it go at that point. You know, it's better to let go and focus on you. Focus on thyself. Focus on the Tai Chi, the meditation, the sigils, your chants, and remember that every time you do this, you're still protecting your women and children. All right. Yes. Do we have to protect them physically too? Of course. You don't want no some. You don't want no. You don't want some stupid motherfucker coming to your house and try to freaking destroy your family or try to kill your son and daughter and your wife. Motherfucker, that's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a thing. I'm dead serious, man. That's how they betray you in that movie. And then they call you cannibals. Like in the freaking 30s and 40s and 50s Looney Tunes cartoons when they showed you. You know? You know? I've been talking about this for a long time. But yet people don't want to look at those type of shorts sometimes and be like, oh, it's offensive. They're playing music. Oh, it's offensive. Yeah, you're telling me that we never played music? You know? Music is the most cosmic thing that's out here. And these wicked beings know it. Even what we call the devil himself knows it. Which I like to call Marduk. That's Marduk. Marduk knows what the fuck is up. Fuck Marduk. Fuck that motherfucker. Slicing Tiamat in half and shit like that. Fuck, he's gonna get his karma too. I already called it out. I am gonna get that motherfucker. I don't care who it is. Right? I already said it myself. You're gonna look. I already said it myself. My job is to take this motherfucker out. And if someone tells me, "Oh no, Marduk is good. He's not that bad. Oh, he changed his ways." Really? If he changed his ways, then how come it's not back to? How come he hasn't done anything to the point that everything's back the way it was before Tiamat got sliced in half? Do you know the whole thing about the Marduk and Tiamat story? I mean, if you don't, then you don't. Look it up. But I'm sure the people that watch this video know. And they're probably tired of me of talking about it, but it still needs to be mentioned. You know? So, hold on. There's also some brothers and sisters out here that talk about the Anunnaki. And some of them might be like, how do you. The thing is, too, they seem to forget that we are Anunnaki, right? But the wicked beings made themselves Anunnaki. Look at Marduk. Marduk is part of an Anunnaki, basically. He's Zeus's son, right? He's related to Hercules, you know? So imagine what he can do. Imagine what he can manipulate, you know? This is the stuff we're not thinking about, guys. Okay? This is the shit that we're not thinking about. And I guarantee you, Zeus's daughters are looking at one of their brothers and they're like, "You're insane. You're fucking insane." I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised. Even I won't be surprised. Zeus will look at his own son and be like, "The hell's wrong with you?" Like, I know I fucked up and I realize my ways, but you do not want to change at all. You know? And then people think Zeus is in charge of all of this stuff. No, it's his son, Marduk. What do you think he's called? The Babylonian god. Okay? I've talked about Marduk on this channel before, alright? And I know this motherfucker sees me. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you if you see me. Fuck you and fuck your minions, and I guarantee you, when the time comes, I'm gonna get your fucking sorry ass. I'm gonna tie you up, hang you dry, and I'll make sure Tiamat does the rest. I guarantee you that. Because I'm doing it for mama. I'm not going after you for me. I'm going after you for her. All right? And I think some brothers and sisters should thrive to do that too. Not all of you should do that because everyone has their own little thing that they want to do. Their own little there's a reason why we're here on this planet. You know, everyone has their own roles, basically, and that is fine. I love that. To be honest, I love it. I do. I love it. I love that people have their own roles to play in this cosmos, in this universe, and in this planet. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. And when you find out what your role is, you start embracing it, and you start realizing what the fuck who you are. All right. Sometimes you might doubt yourself. Sometimes that might still happen. But then that's the thing. Once you start knowing who you are and that doubtness creeps in, all you have to know is these wicked beings. These wicked beings want you to doubt. These wicked beings want you to kill yourself or do something wicked to the point that you go to prison. That way they can have you in prison and be like, we got the motherfucker now. You know? They will try to do anything possible. Anything, guys. That's why I say be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. That's why a lot of brothers and sisters say that. Keep your head on a swivel. Okay? And the thing is, too, the reason I'm mentioning all of this stuff is because without me taking that meat again and then stopping, I wouldn't even talk about all of this stuff. Not because I learned it, it's because I grew more to talk about more about this stuff. Not to say I didn't talk about it before, but now I'm talking about it even more to the point that it's like, wow, I ate that, right? And then when I stopped, and I was just like, all right, I know the stuff with it basically, because I'm in 2025, you know, because I stopped in 2017, right? And then I did it in 2025. That's a long time. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That's a lot of years, guys. Give me credit, all right? Some people might not even give me credit at all and be like, fuck you. And I'm over here like, you know, I'm just gonna laugh and be like, you know what, that's fine. I'm still gonna push of me saying, just know thyself. Seriously, just know thyself, man. That's the most important thing, man. There's other more important things too, but knowing who you are is very, 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 very important because it destroys their system. It destroys everything that they fucking goddamn made. Alright? So there's no excuse to not learn, to grow, to adapt and evolve. Alright? And people are scared of this whole shutdown happening and Trump and shit like that. Fuck them. Fuck him. Not that long ago, I saw a video on YouTube that's AI generated, but it shows a person ripping Trump's face off and Elon Musk off, and it's a reptilian. You know? Shout out to Remedy H because he talked about saying that, oh, I found out that Trump was a reptilian. From the experience that I had with him over the years, before I knew more of myself, because I saw this motherfucker when I was meditating coming after me, and he's like flying, going in the air, climbing on the walls and shit like that. Yeah, and I'm over here like, what the fuck? And that was the reptilian version of him. Then I had a dream of the reptilian version coming after me, right? And I'm trying to hide and everything like that. I put like a freaking like a desk in front of me to hide behind him and shit like that. And then all of a sudden, I don't know why I was doing that. I guess I was still eating. I think around that time I was still eating that meat before I stopped. It was around 2015 or 2016, I believe. So when that was happening, all of a sudden the Trump with the red tie, not the blue tie, comes in, takes out the reptilian version, probably knocks him out because what I see now is the reptilian version that we see. So something between them happened. Maybe the real one is gone forever, which most likely they were always gone forever. So what we see now is AI that's taking like we see in Wizard of Oz. You know, some people even say all these motherfuckers died back in the 60s and 70s. So all we see is their clones or AI. You know, so Machine City. That's what Orion TV will call it. So that's it, guys. That's all I need to say down below. Tell me what you guys think that everything I just said down below. Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Do you think that, hey, I should not make no more YouTube videos anymore? Hey, if you tell me that, then maybe I won't. You know, because I have been thinking for a long time to maybe probably not make no more YouTube videos anymore, because this is about to end soon, and I'm just like, if it's about to end soon, then why I should keep making these videos? You know, we already know what's going to happen. We already know what's up. You know, so I'll see you guys later. Be safe. I love you guys. Seriously, much love, much love. Seriously, much love. Take care of your families. Take care of your loved ones. You know, spend time with yourself also. Um, seriously, because I know there's so many things that are happening to the planet, but at the same time, still take care of you. Still take care of the things that need to be taken care of. Live your life. Live your life, man. Seriously, I think a lot of brothers and sisters don't say that all that much. Live your life. Live your life, man. Seriously, man. I know some people will be like, we don't have one life. We have multiple lives. Yes, yes, of course we do. But this lifetime of you living in this physical body, or even in this realm, you have that one chance to do a whole. That's why we have ancestors. You know, all ancestors, hopefully, mostly all of them, live their life. And if they didn't live their life, then it's your job to live it for them. You know, your ancestors don't want you to just not live your life. They want you to live your life. Have fun, enjoy life, enjoy the benefits of nature. Because nature gave you stuff like that. Nature provides stuff like that for you to enjoy, like the fruits, the vegetables, the land. You building structures to the point that it increases the vibration even higher. You know, that's what I'm talking about. So I'll see you guys later. Be safe. Um, don't, don't let anyone start you away for anything. Hey, that's why I tell people too. Fuck what I need to say. Do your own research. Do your own little thing. You know. So if you do agree with me, cool. If you disagree with me, that's fine also. I'm not here to change anyone's mind. I'm just one person that wants to remind people, but like, hey, especially the so-called black folk and also so-called Afro-Hispanic folk, which is funny because they would call them, because they probably would have called us, what is it, black Latinos or black Afros. I mean, black Hispanics or some shit. Who knows what the fuck they would fucking call us? Even though we're different from the regular Latinos and regular, yeah, because they're not what we call so-called Afro. That's why I say so-called Afro people. You know, because they put us in a junk to think that we're all one and shit like that. We're not like that. It's the same thing when you have the so-called black people being compared to the Africans, and they're totally different. You know, so that's what I'm trying to convey. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, like Granny H said, we are not African. Yes, and I'm not Afro-Hispanic. I'm still Afro, but I'm not Afro-Hispanic. I'm not Hispanic. I'm Afro-Hispanic, what we do call in the community, but I'm not Latino or Hispanic. You know? Oh yeah, you are. Apparently you did see the beginning of the video. I don't have to show you to it again. You can see it right here. Oh, you painted on that, on you. What? You think I'm that crazy to the point that I will paint green paint on my freaking hand? You think I'm that much of a psychopath? You need to seek help. You need to seek help. You need to seek help. Seriously. Seriously. Because if you think of that, when you look at me, you need to seek help, man. You need to seek help. You need to, some people be like, you need to seek something, man. You need to find something way deeper inside yourself. I'm not going to tell you to find Jesus and all that shit, because fuck that shit. All I have to say is, you need to seek some type of help that I don't know what to say. Because it's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's fucking sad. It's fucking sad. When I look at my own grandfather, and he's what we call black, and the same thing with my fucking father. And yes, he's Afro too. Okay? There's a picture of him when I saw him as like a 17-year-old. He had my hair in my brother's face. Like, you can't make that shit up, man. Even my dad corrected me. We're not Salvadorians. And I'm over here like, what? He's like, well, Afro Salvadorians. And I'm like, that happened when I was like 17 or 18 years old, man. When he told me that shit. And ever since then, I've been correcting my sisters ever since. Oh, we're Hispanic. I'm like, Afro Hispanics. Like, come on, man. We're part of the freaking so-called black community. And some people want to be like, oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. And I'm like, how much proof do you need to realize that that is true? And I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm not. I'm just showing you who I am in general. And if you have a problem with it, I don't know what to tell you. And I'm not going to be, I could say, hey, meet me outside, but I'm not going to do that. Not today, not in this video, man. Because it's just to the point that I'm just like, you know, when you're so fed up and tired, that you just literally go like this, and you always hear like, these people are going to get me killed. Oh, this pothead's going to get me arrested. If you know that reference, you deserve a cookie. Oh, it's true, man. It's like, oh, this pothead's going to get me arrested, is he? Oh, but all right, I'm done, guys. I'm done. Take care of yourselves. Literally, take care of yourselves. Know thyself. Keep knowing who you are. Never stop growing. Never stop doing what you are doing. All right, as long as it's not hurting anybody, including your own people. I mean, you can hurt these wicked beings all you want. I don't give a shit. You know? So I see you guys.